Hi everybody, thank you for coming by. I felt drawn to do a spiritual path check-in reading for the general collective tonight. Yesterday we had Mars square Pluto. That was a very activating energy for sure. Mars was in Libra, and that is Venus. So we had Venus and Mars versus Pluto and Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn. Two very strong structural, karmic, past life type energies, lesson based. Two, the balance of the masculine and feminine, divine love. So it could have been a very activating time for a lot of us in the collective. It can also be sudden changes, which can be shake-ups and all kinds of things when Mars is involved. It's a little softer because it was in Libra, which is nice. It brings that feminine balance. But let's start off here. This is for anybody, any sign. You'll know if it applies to you. It's not going to apply to everybody, but pieces of it might. I'm going to start off here with a white light oracle. It's a beautiful, beautiful deck, very spiritual. But I've never been able to read it intuitively. And I think it's like I can only read the literal meanings, which I will do so from the book, okay, guys? I wouldn't want to give you anything other than what was meant with these cards in particular, of course. All right, what do we have for the collective here? Whoever resonates with this. Okay. We have the 7 blessings of Eve, a very feminine energy. It's now here, look at me going intuitive, but I can't ignore the message I'm getting here. For those of you this might apply, this reminds me of Kundalini energy, which really is Venus and Mars, right? Eve, of course, being a reference to divine feminine, but let's look it up. It's number 7, which is also interesting. Astrologically, the number 7 rules the 7th house of the zodiac. That's Libra. And it's divine partnership, it's balance, it's long-term relationships. So interesting. Okay. A spiritual gift shall enter your heart and manifest as a blessing in your life. You have innate talents and abilities which will support you into full glorious manifestation. You have been blessed with a beautiful divine destiny to fulfill. You have natural healing ability. Choose your thoughts and words as they reflect what you truly wish to put out into the world, because your influence is stronger and further reaching than you realize. Wow. Okay. Very healing energy. Let's take a look here with a major to get the overall. Oh, I knew we were going to get the Empress, Taurus and Libra here. And the Empress basically defines that card. From her own heart emanates the ability to turn any energy into something more beautiful. It's definitely a healing energy. It has that Mother Earth quality to it as well. Transmutation of energy. And it's from her belief in beauty, Venus energy, that anything can be transmuted that way. Beautiful. Very feminine energy we have here. Okay. Let's get into the reading. I'm actually going to draw a few from the Star Codes Astro Oracle. Let's see what astrological energies are influencing this situation. What do we have, please? Now, this could appear in your chart and someone around you, or just overall in the situation. Interesting, Saturn is the first card out. We were just talking about Saturn with Capricorn there, squaring off against Venus, right? Divine feminine. There's Saturn. Structure, the way it's done, you know? Sticking to the rules instead of what can you create. What can you create? We have the 2nd house. Taurus rules the 2nd house. Venus energy. Taurus is fixed Venus, so it is, yes, definitely about what you can create, but what can you do with what you can create? How can you use that in the world? How can you build stability out of that? And it's not just about finances, right? Because there's always beauty associated with Taurus. It is Venus, after all. It's just grounded Venus. I just have to take a sip, you guys. Sorry. Very beautiful energy so far. Okay. That's just far too many. What else do we have? The 9th house. Where is my voice? I'll persevere, you guys, but my throat chakra is closing up here. Okay, so there could be a fear of yours or somebody afraid to speak. But the 9th house is the house of spiritual exploration and expansion. Sagittarius rules the 9th house. And it is about, it's about Jupiter, which I always say, right? This is interesting. I always say it's kind of the opposite energy to Saturn, Jupiter is. It's about optimism, expansion, looking forward, setting the new vision. And Saturn is, but before you do that, what have you learned? Because you don't want to set your vision on things that are going to repeat lessons you've already learned. Saturn. And it can hold you back until it's like you've learned it 100%. And then comes the expansion that Sag introduces us to. Little astrology. We have Gemini, cross-pollinate. Gemini is about staying curious, keeping your mind open and flexible to new things. Definitely with exploration and cross-pollinate. How does this fit into the world, right? Stay curious. This is the overall message I'm getting so far for you. Especially with the Empress. Okay, good. The throat is here. Especially with the Empress and the 7 blessings of Eve. Because definitely that is about staying curious. You can't be creative if you're not curious. On the bottom of the deck, we have the 7th house. Libra. The 7th house is about intimate relationships, long-term partnerships. We have double Venus energy here in the 2nd and 7th house. So it's also about what is good for your world, not just the beauty of it, which can be a bit of a danger with Libra because it's cardinal Venus, but also what can be created of this beauty, of this partnership. Wow. Okay. Let's start off here with the good tarot. Take a look at what happened in the recent past and what the overall lesson was there, especially with Saturn present. Okay, I'll accept it. The Queen of Wands, fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Interesting. In the ascension towards Empress energy, which we have right here, the Queen of Wands lessons come first. This is the lessons of how to handle your natural gifts. See, it's emanating from her heart, from her passion, from what pulls at her heart. And when the Queen of Wands is inspired, it is a very beautiful thing. It's very magnetic. And this, but the downside of the Queen of Wands in this ascension process, if we look at it that way, is about balancing that out, understanding what it's meant for and what it isn't, how it too can lead you astray. How to handle your gifts. Saturn. That could have been the lesson in the recent past. Okay. We'll clarify a little bit. Let's see what's going on presently. Where are you at? Now this is to do with your 2nd house. So, okay, so what can you use this to grow? Very nice. Sagittarius here with patience or temperance. See, this is about learning how to keep that grounded and how to use it in the correct way. Like the magic that exists in the energy, little by little, understanding that there is a spiritual balance that is to be reached with the ego, Queen of Wands. And balancing it out in the real world here. How is it actually good for you? How can you take all that beauty that lives inside of you and actually grow something with it? Careful handling. You're learning that alchemy. Let's see what's happening in the near future. Oh man, the Hierophant. Taurus is major arcana. So many energies of Taurus. That could be strong in your chart, but you know what, you guys? We have a full moon in Taurus coming up at the end of October. That's the completion of a lesson, of a manifestation. And that manifestation would date back 6 months ago to around Taurus season when the new moon was there. The Hierophant and the 9th house, what is your truth, your spiritual beliefs, your true north? How can you utilize these gifts in a way, again, that not just sort of benefit the ego? And obviously, I'm not saying that to offend anyone. We all go through this as we learn our gifts and find our balance. And it repeats too. There's no anyway. The Hierophant is where you find that. What do you believe in? Because, believing in spiritual structures is still not necessarily your true center. You're exploring in the near future or landing in that place. And commitment to that. Commitment to the higher self rather than this. The gift that comes through you, not from you. Okay. Let's see what the next steps are. Okay, that 1 and 2. Gemini. Stay curious. All right. The High Priestess and the 7 of Pentacles. Lots of major arcana in this little spread, you guys. 1, 2, 3 of 5 cards. The High Priestess is Pisces, major arcana. And this is where you receive the intuition. This is where you collaborate with the universe. And not everything that comes through in the next steps will necessarily be able to be understood. Earth energy here. Stay curious. Collaborate with the universe. Gemini is cross-pollination in this deck. And that's where you'll now build from. So the discovery of the heart and the passion was very important. But now comes the integration. The spiritual self, the Hierophant and the High Priestess. That is the most divine couple in tarot. This could be you and the universe in collaboration. Look who's on the bottom of the deck, the Queen of Earth. This is the last step in ascension when you're reaching Empress energy. What's good for you, how to take care of you and others once you learn how to balance that. And then you create your own stability from there. Okay. Let's see what the challenge is going to be coming up in the next few weeks here. What will be the challenge? The 2 of Cups. Interesting. Water energy. Venus in Cancer. The 2 of Cups can be about partnership, definitely. It can be about balance. About divine masculine and feminine, which we talked about with that Venus and Mars. But the 2 of Cups as a challenge. It could be this could distract you away from this inner knowing with the High Priestess. This is a state of kind of needing to hear your own guidance. But we'll see what this 2 of Cups is about. I'm definitely going to clarify that in the challenge. Okay, let's see a potential outcome of this part of the path. The 2 of Fire. 2 of Wands here. I love this 2 of Wands. Now this is about you taking the next steps on what you see for yourself. Now from this place of higher knowing, of being able to hear your intuition, it's like, all right, now what choices do I make going forward? I love that the Hanged Man is showing up here. Pisces again. Now this is the 12th house, the High Priestess and the Hanged Man. This is about, again, staying curious, being willing to hear the messages from the universe about where you're being guided. Now it's coming from a different perspective. And look at the full moon energy behind him. This definitely could be about that moon cycle. With the High Priestess and the Hanged Man, I'm also getting that it's like now you can, because you've been through this process. And from there, you manifest. You and the universe in collaboration. This Two of Cups can be finding the partnership now. We'll see. On the bottom of the deck is the Empress. Very nice. Okay. Let's clarify with the Mythic deck. I guess I'll clarify the Queen of Fire. It is there with Saturn. I think, you know, that's pretty clear. And the story about what that lesson was exactly, how that manifests, for you, for all of us, will be different. But let's get a couple out for the Queen of Fire, because I'm ever curious. What was this lesson, this ego lesson? The Six of Wands, yeah. Leo here. Now, Leo is a beautiful energy. But like I said, it can be a little bit having to learn about small victories here. Having to learn lessons that the ego teaches. Now, I always think of ego as evading God's oneness. In other words, thinking it's coming from us, not through us. Taking the claim for that beauty. It's not, and again, I know it sounds harsh, I don't mean it that way. But when you're in your power, it can be very hard to sort of differentiate, right? It's a gift that everybody learns as they discover their gift. Yeah, the Seven of Swords. This is personal manipulation. The swords are our thoughts, our strategies, our dialogues internally. And this is very, very strategic and tricky. The Seven of Swords can be things we tell ourselves that aren't entirely true. This is inflation of ego, and then Saturn steps in, contract, lesson. Let's see, Temperance. Now this is kind of like, okay, maybe taking it a bit easy, like understanding that alchemy as we discussed. Okay, why is Temperance here? In the present, leveling it out. I like this. Isn't that nice? The Ten of Cups. Beautiful. Water energy. The Ten of Cups and Temperance together is like understanding that if you want the whole picture, it takes time and investment, Taurus energy there. And it has to be grounded too. It can't just be about that Six of Wands energy, that being noticed, that being seen. Ten of Cups is also a partnership. You can see. So already now comes the understanding of what a divine partnership means to you. And I don't think it has to do with this, right? Why is the Ten of Cups here? And also Temperance is like, look at Temperance just came out again. Temperance is about understanding that if you like to incorporate that many blessings, that much emotional abundance, and creative energy, it takes carefully handling that and doing it in a way that, again, is going to help you grow and stay grounded. Temperance and Seven of Pentacles. Take your time. Plant the seeds. Balance it out. And also, is your goal being met? Like, is your intention towards what you're building being met by what you're building over here? Because we have Seven of Swords, Seven of Pentacles. So that is what you learned. And now the Seven of Pentacles can be built instead of the Seven of Swords. And that was the alchemy that you learned from Sagittarius. Speaking of, we have the 9th house right there. And the Hierophant. So now you know, right? And now comes the collaboration with the universe. You might meet a new spiritual teacher. You might dedicate yourself to something very deeply on your own spiritual path. The Ace of Swords and the 9 of Wands. Oh, beautiful. The Nine of Wands for me, when we're talking spiritual path, every one of those wands comes from these kinds of lessons. In this particular case, if you're resonating with it, it's fire. It's passion, yes, action, inspiration, all of those beautiful energies, and go, go, go. But each one comprises a lesson, and also what it's taken for you to get this far. You don't get to the Empress without fighting like hell to get there. It's not an arrival point, it's a constant state of rebalancing. I just did a reading for Divine Feminine. I'll put it in the description box below. I did not know this was going to turn into that, but it certainly is. The Nine of Wands is about having the willingness to continue. You are so close. See how close that ship is to the shore? I love this. Because there's a quote I always use with the Empress from Louisa May Alcott, who wrote Little Women. She says, "I'm not afraid of stormy seas, for I know how to sail my ship." This is that. When you get to the Wounded Warrior, you've learned some stuff. But you're not afraid anymore, because wands also represent courage. And now comes the clarity, the communication. Ace of Swords. I understand what the next step is. The Hierophant. Commitment to yourself, your spiritual center. What's calling you in collaboration with the universe, which is what the High Priestess is here learning in the next steps. Interesting that the Seven of Pentacles is carrying over as a clarifier to Temperance. In the next steps here, we have you in collaboration with the universe. Staying curious. High Priestess. You might not understand. Yeah, Nine of Swords. You might not understand. The Nine of Swords and the High Priestess can also be about receiving messages in your sleep and trying to understand with your mind what they're saying. But the problem with the High Priestess Neptune energy, Neptune doesn't have any boundaries. Everything's so watery, and it's just like everything is everything. It's so hard to put a structure around. Seven of Earth, right? That's why you got to stay curious. You won't be able to control this with the mind. You have to trust. We had the Ace of Swords over here in the near future. That's the final sword that's going to end your confusion. Whatever that is. Two of Cups in the challenge. Interesting. Two of Cups. Why is this here? Ten of Wands. We got there. There's the Nine of Wands in the near future. And here comes the Ten of Wands, the completion. Because you were willing to do the work. Look at him sitting out there in the desert. He has his bag packed. He could get on that boat. But he's sitting there getting the finishing, you know. He made it this far. And the wands are on fire. Okay. Ten of Wands. That's the final step. I get it. Okay. The Two of Cups now. That's going to be the 10th wand. King of Cups, Queen of Cups. Get out of here. Water energy. Scorpio and Cancer here. But Pisces is here too. This could apply very strongly to my water signs watching. Talk about a very strong, intuitive, divine partnership. High Priestess and Hierophant. This couple doesn't even need to speak. They could hear each other across the world. Very deeply intuitive. Very spiritual. And that's when the Two of Cups comes. That's the partnership. Now it is, because now you understand. Hanged Man and the Two of Wands. And now, here with that enlightenment that came by unusual means, you know what to move forward. You know now what to manifest. Nine of Cups. Complete happiness. The Nine of Cups is about understanding fully what makes you happy so that you can now manifest that out into the world. See how that guy's up on the giraffe, looking forward to the future so he can get a full view. That's the enlightenment. Now you see things differently, and now you know what makes you happy. And now comes the Fool, Aries major arcana, but also the first step, the leap into it. Now you can trust that when you take that leap, you're either going to be able to fly or you'll be caught, because you're in collaboration with the universe. So you're not afraid to take the risk. You're not afraid to sail the ship. And there comes the opportunity. Now you know that you can go for what you want, what makes you happy. This is the birth of kind of like the birth of a new self. We have 10 of Swords, 10 of Wands, and the world. Out into the world. It's a whole new world here. But also the completion of a cycle. From the last card in the tarot to the first. Empress on the bottom of the deck. Wow, what a powerful reading, you guys. I hope this is resonating with most of you. It could be now if you're cross-watching for somebody, you know, because we do have the King and Queen of Cups. This could be being felt on both sides. Let's close this with the wisdom of the Oracle. What do we have to close this reading? What do we have? Time for a nap. Be in that temperance energy. That's where you are right now. Double temperance. 10 of Cups. That's the universe going, take it easy. It's okay. It's coming. There could have been a separation at one time in a situation here, although I don't see that. Time for a nap. That's about the High Priestess as well. Let your mind rest. 9 of Swords, right? Okay. What else? One more. Time to go. Okay, isn't that interesting? Time for a nap. That's all of this. Now it's time to go. The Fool in the world. Very, very interesting. Do we need anything else? Let's do a love oracle. For those of you where this is relationship. It occurs to me that this could be the balance within as well, if this is applying that way. With the 2 of Cups being the challenge and the King and Queen of Cups. This is the masculine feminine balance when it comes to your intuition, your emotions. It's mastery of that part of yourself, that gift. And the 10 of Wands, that's what you've been working for. It could be about partnership as well. For those of you where it is, let's see what this is about. Oh, sexuality came out. Interesting. That again could have to do with that balance. But it could have to do with the lessons here with the Queen of Wands too. Queen of Wands, 6 of Wands, that's pretty sexual. Could have been the overall kind of thing. We'll see. Let's get one more. Interesting. And the Silver Waterfall. This is very beautiful to me. The Silver Waterfall is all about still visualizing, turning things beautiful. Understanding that you create the dream. And that's exactly what the Empress, and there is commitment. So for some of you where that is divine commitment with a external masculine feminine, that could be the case. Understanding with the Hierophant member about commitment. Also, this could be to the self. Understanding what you with the Hierophant are committed to spiritually. What your beliefs are. All right, my friends, that's what I have for you. I truly hope it resonated. Very, very beautiful reading. I can see why I was called to the table. The Empress showed up like 3 times. So there we have it. I'm not surprised with so much Libra going on. All right, my friends, I'll see you very soon. Take care for now. Bye.